Good morning, Columbus, and welcome to Goodwill Columbus's Work and Community Services. My name is Curtis, and today, what's happening at WCS? Well, the weather is gorgeous. I love it. The sun is shining. It's not too humid today, which I would have been great if it was yesterday, but beggars can't be choosers. We had some nice sunshine yesterday and no rain. So I'm counting that as a win. I'm back out in the middle of the work floor. As you can see, evidence of the Find Your Voice banner behind me, and I thought it very pertinent to what's going on in the world today, especially right here in the United States. There has been a lot of civil unrest lately, and we got a very uplifting message from our president of Goodwill Columbus, Marjorie Pizzuti, and I kind of wanted to share that with you today because I thought it very fitting to demonstrate how much Goodwill Columbus cares for our community and all those in our community, and the fight that we have in us to help those in need. It's not just, we're not just a pretty name and a pretty face, well, except for mine, but, well, anyways, we're here because we care about our community, and our community is Columbus, and Goodwill is a national entity, and we are all over the United States, and we are constantly helping those in need better their lives, whether it's someone with developmental or intellectual disabilities, someone who's been released from prison to help them find the job, someone who needs food or connections or assistance in some way or form. We help our communities. We fight this fight because that's what we believe in, and I really want to extend that to everybody, that we are here, and like the national consensus at the moment, we're not staying silent. We want your voices to be heard, so we're going to help speak up as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this letter that Marjorie sent to Goodwill staff, and I think it's a very heartfelt message that speaks in regards to our current racial divide and the diversity that we face, and coming from someone who is constantly trying to expand our cultural competencies. I feel the same way that she does, and she put it so much more eloquently than I could. So please bear with me as I read this. I want to share a personal message with you on the heartbreaking civil unrest that we've witnessed in our community and nation this past week, or 2 weeks by this point. I'm so deeply saddened and frustrated to my core with the fundamental inhumanity of institutional racism that continues to prevail. We have experienced far too many racially divisive incidents for far too long in our country's history. I believe in my heart that now is the time to raise our collective voices, declaring our commitment to take thoughtful, decisive action, passionately pursuing a path forward to co-create a community and a country that provides basic human rights and protections for all of our citizens. I'm encouraged by the recent actions Franklin County Public Health and Columbus City Council have taken, with bold and brave steps to formally declare racism as a public health crisis. That said, we need to do more. As an organization, along with our national network of Goodwills, our local health and human services sector, business leaders, elected officials, educational institutions, and each of us as individual citizens. She puts in a quote, "We stand in solidarity with our community in the fight against systemic racism." Words have power. Actions has more power. We are listening and learning. Goodwill strength comes from our diversity. We are committed to listening, learning, and being part of the solution, and will continue our conversations together going forward. Black Lives Matter. Please stay safe and happy during these times of needs. Now, I have read this numerous times, and it brings to light reasons why I personally have gone into the human science, human service field, because I feel so passionately for helping out and changing how, even here in the United States, how much of a divide there is, and the way communities are treated, and the wealth gap. And I spent a lot of my time working at a food pantry in the Hilltop. The Hilltop was my community for the longest time, and I feel for those people, and all I wanted to do was help them as best as I could, whether it through work at a food pantry, helping with getting them signed up for services, or just being an active voice and helping build up their neighborhood. It's something that we all need to do all over the place, and it's amazing the amount of blinders that people put on when it comes to race and relations. And it's just so infuriating that we can't take the time to take those blinders off and see it through their lens. This is something that I am talking, or not I am, that I constantly talk about with the individuals that we serve here, is that you have to be able to see it through the lens that the other person is talking to you about. And empathy is a big part of being a good person within the social services field. And without empathy, you won't survive. And that's something that I think a lot of communities need right now. This is just a huge issue that, as you can tell, has been growing and getting more serious and more complicated. And these people are frustrated. Whole communities are being devastated by what is going on. And we have it in our power to be empathetic and understanding, and to be there and find our voice to speak up on behalf of this systemic racism that is going on in the world. And it just really hits home. I'm getting verklempt, but I see people as individuals and who they are. I understand where their cultural backgrounds are from, and know that we're never going to see eye to eye on everything, but everybody deserves the same amount of respect and the same amount of understanding as to what they are going through as you would expect for yourself. We may not always understand the feelings behind that, but that shouldn't stop the love that we share and give and support that we have for those individuals that are going through it. A lot of us, myself included, don't know what it's like to have the constant threat of use of force on us by a police officer or someone, to fight for a job. We never experienced that. I never experienced that. And that is frustrating now that I am on this end of things, trying to help individuals who have barriers, and with the individuals that we work with here at Work and Community Services, we have a rainbow of personalities, cultures, races. Each one of them are just as important to me as everybody else. And we are fighting the good fight to get them integrated into communities that have ostracized them for years. And that is just, ignites a fire. And would really love to have more discussions about it. I've learned so much in the time that I have been here, and it has really helped shape our new programming here at the workshop. But this fight is far from over. We have a long way to go to get to where we need to be, to where we're not seeing people through the lens of color or culture, but we see them as individual people who, have special qualities about them. We should not be so judgmental, and we should not be putting more barriers in their place. We should all be fighting to break these barriers down for a more cohesive United States. And that's what we're trying to do. We support all the communities, not just here in Central Ohio, but it's a shout out to all the Goodwills across the United States. We stand with you, and we are using our voice to help any way that we can. So I want to thank you for your time today, and know that you have an ally here with Goodwill Columbus. Good day.